It's puck time. It's Monday, and the deepest apologies. Man, we haven't had a puck time in 2 weeks, and that is on me. I'll tell you about it in a second, but we've got the kids with us. Andrew McInnis, home at SportsMemo.com, and Alex B. Smith. The B stands for badass, man. And I mean that literally, like he actually has a badass.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks.
Not that I would know. Turn around and show us.
I thought for a second he was going to say Black Hawks, but
Yeah, that's what I thought I was going to say. I've heard the B stand for a lot of different things, though. So.
Well, what does it stand for?
yeah.
Bohannon. That's my middle name.
Bohanna?
Bohannon.
Bohannon.
Yeah, it's very, very Irish.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, clearly. I mean, you look as Irish as it comes. I'm the Prez, and guys, there will be no more PuckTime hiatuses. I was away. I went on a vacation to Florida 2 weeks ago, and then last week I played at the WPT tournament in Niagara, and I just couldn't get to do the show. But in the future, Alex Bohannon Smith will be hosting, so we are not going to miss a beat. My apologies, my sincere apologies to everybody. Guys, let's talk quickly. We last left off. I went on a nice run. I went 4-1 this past week in hockey. I won my 5-star on Thursday. I was on the under in the Minnesota Rangers game, and then I lost my 5-star last night. I was on the over in the Calgary-Ottawa game. And guys, before we get into it, we're going to take apart every game on the board. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the game last night. There were 2 goals called back, both for the exact same reason. And
yeah.
I'm baffled by it. If the ref doesn't blow the whistle, why the hell were either of those goals called back? I just don't understand it.
I know, Prez, I feel for you. The thing is, if they call the first one, they have to call the second, right? And that's what's really tough, because realistically, you can make a case for both sides. That's the second one specifically. There shouldn't even have been a call. Like you said, if there's no whistle, I think the first one, you look at it, Prez, you see that Anderson clearly had his glove over the puck. But the second one, a little bit harder to see, because I don't think it. Wouldn't you say it's more so on the ref?
I mean, to me, honestly, look, I play a lot of hockey, guys. I play twice a week, 2 different teams, and the bottom line is, period. If the whistle hasn't blown, then the play is live. And I don't care if he took the puck off the ice and stuck it up his ass or in his mouth. If the whistle isn't blown, the play is live. And I don't feel like either the Ottawa or Calgary guy were whacking at the glove in some, violent manner. I think it was a very consistent flow through, if you will. He put his hand on the glove. He hit the glove. Anderson should keep it. If he's covering the puck, cover the fucking puck.
How did it get through? That's the biggest question. How did it so easily slip through? That's what I was sitting there wondering. If his hand's over it, Prez, I agree with you. How the hell did it go through?
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me, but let's move on. I've got some plays up at WagerTalk tonight. Andrew has a 4-pack of plays up at SportsMemo, 2 in NBA, 2 in hockey. And Alex, what's on the card for you?
I got a 3% top total of the day up at SportsMemo.com right now.
Perfect. Guys, big promo for you all. Use the promo code NHL35. Listen, you can get any of our plays for the entire week for $35. I don't understand how we're not selling thousands of those packages. I mean, we're all winning. NHL is probably the second best sport to bet on behind baseball. And everybody who watches these shows, frankly, anybody on the planet is interested in money. So head over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo by myself, Andrew, Alex, Carmine, Dave Koken, Buster, anybody's NHL package for 1 week for $35. Use the promo code NHL35. Boys, there's 3 games on tap tonight. We're going to take them all apart, and we're going to start with the Leafs. Huge win on Saturday night. Actually, it's funny because, off topic, I was cheering for the Habs on Saturday night, Andrew.
Were you now?
Yeah, because I want the Habs to leapfrog Toronto so we could get that last wild card, play the Islanders in the first round, and then the winner of the Pittsburgh-Washington series. Anything to avoid Tampa Bay or Boston as far as
You're going to get
I'm
knocked
concerned.
out in the first round of Boston. That's why. We're going to go to the second round after we beat Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus is loading up. Big trades today, guys.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the trades as they affect the games, but otherwise This isn't a trade show. But Columbus is loading up, and now they got a goaltender, so it looks like maybe Bobrovsky might be dealt today, and if he is, he's going to be dealt for a scoring forward. So, you know, I'm loving what Columbus is doing, and frankly, John Arthur Fonzarelli Tortorello is my favorite coach in the league because he actually looks like the Fonz. And he's so animated. Oh, the league would miss him. Let's get to this, boys. Toronto Maple Leafs at home playing Buffalo. They just beat Montreal 6-3, 6 unanswered goals. Although the 6th goal was super interesting, it never actually went into the net. Buffalo lost 4 of their last 5, but a nice victory against Washington at home. But look, Toronto is a big favorite here. -2 and change. The over and under is 6.5. You know, Toronto scored 6 against Montreal, but before that it was 2-2-0. And Buffalo is not exactly lighting it up. I think this is a big total, and I do lean on under myself. Andrew, I'll go to you. I like Toronto -1.5, and I like under, and I think this game has got around a 4-1 kind of score written all over it.
Yeah, it's a good prediction. I mean, here's the way I feel about it, Prez. I mean, you don't usually often use the term against the spread in hockey, right? It's just something weird. I find it uncomfortable using the word because it's just always the +1.5 or -1.5. And of course, as we know, use that more so in sports like football or basketball. But like I have been mentioning, you know, a lot of times these days, especially heading towards these playoff pushes, a lot more close games are going to happen. A lot of teams are going to shock teams. And especially after that big comeback from Toronto, we know they're struggling to start games. It seems like they're finishing games strong, and their goal has to be able to play a full 60 minutes. But one thing I know about Buffalo versus Toronto.
Where did Andrew go?
Right here.
Oh, there you go. We had a little blurb.
So, Buffalo is 18-4 against the spread in their last 22 games against Toronto. And again, I know it sounds weird saying against the spread, but I'm going to look at Buffalo +1.5 here, -115. I mean, they just picked up Montour. They've got a good defensive core that moves the puck really well. Buffalo does not spend a lot of time in their own end. That's the best thing for them against this Toronto team because we know how dangerous Toronto is once they start cycling the puck around. And if Buffalo stays out of the box, I feel like this can be a really, close, tight-knit game. So I'm taking a shot here with a decent price, +1.5, -115 for the Sabres.
We're against each other there. Alex, 30 seconds or less. Any thoughts on this hockey game?
Yeah, I like Buffalo team total under 2.5. Like I said, looking at Frederik Andersen, who's going to be getting the start here. He's 8-3 lifetime against Buffalo with a 2.31 goals against and a .916 save percentage. I think he has a big game here tonight. I can only see maybe one goal possibly get by him. If not, he has a shutout. So under 2.5 at -$1.20. I think that's a good price for the team total. Sabres under.
That's a great point, and I'm with you on the Sabres not scoring many goals. I'm still thinking a 4-1 win and Andrew being wrong. Montreal Canadiens. So, Alex, will go to you because, frankly, I don't want to hear a damn peep out of that idiot's mouth. Montreal.
Look at Buffalo's lineup. Look at Buffalo's lineup. It's a good lineup.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Montreal just lost to Toronto. They won 2 games before that. but they are on a 2-4 run. They're now a lot of points behind the Leafs, which is a shame given that I want the Leafs to play the Islanders in the first round. They are playing New Jersey tonight. New Jersey, as we just spoke about, traded their goalie, and it looks like Schneider's going to be number one. New Jersey is zigzagging the last 4 games. They beat Buffalo, lost to Pittsburgh, beat Ottawa, and lost to the New York Rangers 5-2. Look, New Jersey is, to me, they're a live dog here at plus 135. And I also like under the total of 6 in this game. Even though both teams are scoring, and New Jersey, surprisingly, with a 2-4-3, 4-5, 2-3, I mean, they're putting up goals. But I think we're going to get a real solid effort out of Carey Price. And I think we see that after they lose a game. I like under the total, and I lean on New Jersey as a real live dog. Alex?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because now we're getting to the point, with today being deadline day, like I said, Keith Kincaid getting moved to Columbus. That's a fairly big trade as far as, like I said, lines go for New Jersey down the road, because it's Corey Schneider, who's been terrible this year. He's now the number 1 goalie, and they're going to prime Mackenzie Blackwood, who had a good couple of games when he came up from Binghamton in the AHL. He's going to be the backup the rest of the year, so that's something to keep an eye on. But you have a New Jersey team that's pretty much out of the race. You have a Montreal team that's still kind of in the hunt. More than likely will end up making the playoffs. So now you look, like I said, New Jersey's kind of got nothing to lose here. The guys that are staying on this team, once they know they're not being moved after 3 o'clock Eastern, this is their team the rest of the way. So they're going to kind of, I think that sometimes bonds together some of these kind of middle of the road and bad teams, because it's like, all right, hey, we're sticking together the rest of the way. Let's do the best we can here. So I do kind of lean with New Jersey here in this spot. We've seen Montreal, they've lost 5 of their last 7, and how they're going to bounce back. I think we're going to see early, pressure from Montreal early, especially the way that they lost that game against Toronto, giving up the 6 goals after having the 3-0 lead. So with that being said, I like Montreal. I think maybe early in this game we see a couple of goals, but then I think things will kind of tighten down, and I think New Jersey end up winning this contest.
It's a real race for that last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. I mean, Pittsburgh's at 72, Carolina at 72, Montreal at 73, and Columbus at 73. You know, the bottom line is, in 30 seconds or less, Andrew, Montreal has to win these type of games in order to get into the playoffs.
They do. Enough how tight the race is. I'll say it plain and simple, Prez. I mean, all jokes aside, with me being a Habs guy, I think that when it's this time of year, you have to be able to beat the bad teams. You have to be able to beat the teams that you should be beating, if that makes any sense. The game against the Leafs is a very tight matchup. They play them tight. Whatever happened. But this is a New Jersey team that I'm sick and tired of giving any chances. I don't know why I even think twice about games when I see New Jersey. I hate using the word depth so much because I always say that word and I'm repetitive with it. But all they do is have 2 or 3 guys that can put the puck in the back of the net. Montreal has far more than that, and they'll get the job done. I'll be honest though, Prez, I wouldn't pay too high of a price for this one. I mean, you mentioned there's good value with the Devils, and I've been trying to work on being more of a value bettor, so I wouldn't go any higher than 135, 140 with the Habs.
He's Andrew McInnis. I'm the Prez. Alex B. Smith with us. Guys, head over to WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Please buy a week of our NHL plays for $35. Use the promo code NHL35. I don't know how you can't. It's so inexpensive. I mean, it literally works out to be like $5 a day. And all of us are going to have plays up at those websites. Andrew, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're playing one of the worst teams in the league tonight. The LA Kings are just a complete and total disaster. They've got 52 points on the season, 23-32. Tampa Bay is just absolutely lights out. They have 11 regulation losses. There's no chance they're going to lose this hockey game. The Kings are on a 7-game losing streak. The Lightning are on an 8-game winning streak. The number is so massive here, minus 375. I don't even know where to go in this game, but I'll tell you, if I ever were to lay a minus 375, it would be this game. What do you think?
I'm going to stay away from any kind of side in this one because even the puck line doesn't really intrigue me for what you're getting. But one thing that has shocked me, Prez, is the fact that whether it's them scoring or them getting scored on, this Kings team has been a over team. And it's really surprising for me to even have those words come out of my mouth. 10 of the last 13 games have gone over the total, 7 of the last 9 on the road. So, I mean, certain guys are starting to light the lamp for them. But other than that, I mean, Florida beat them 6-1 in their last game. And other than that, they've been getting stomped by a lot of teams that on. And again, this is a road trip for LA. I don't know how they'll fare against it. And, whether or not people want to think Tampa Bay is going to keep rolling against a team like that, I'll repeat what I said before. When you're in the level you're at now with 20 games to go-ish for each team, you got to be able to beat the crappy teams. LA, not a good team. Tampa Bay is so far ahead of everybody else in the East, but it doesn't matter who you're playing. Coaches care about playing the right way, playing your kind of hockey, and executing every single night. If LA gets 1 or 2, Prez, we get this over, I think. I'll go over in this one.
Alex, I think you're going to tell us to bet under LA team because, they're playing to the over right now, but it ain't their offense. 1 goal against Florida, 1 goal against Nashville, 2 against Washington, 2 against Boston. They're not lighting it up, and it's amazing how bad Quick is right now. Alex, 30 seconds or less, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to look at here with the, you only laying $1.35, $1.40 with the under 2.5 on the team total, the Kings. But I would look at the first period over here as well. And like I said, mostly on Tampa Bay's part. 32-10 the last 42 games. They've gone over in the first period. 1.5, and the Kings 4 of their last 6 games have gone over in the first period. So I could see this where, like I said, it's going to be a runaway. I expect Tampa to get a couple early. If LA does score, it'll probably be early in this contest, and then the Lightning just control the rest of the way there. So, Kings team total under 2.5, and first period over with Kings and Lightning.
Alex, let's go to you with this Nashville game. They're hosting the Oilers. The Oilers are a complete mess. 3 games below 500 on the season. Nashville 36-23 on the year with their great goalie, Rene in net. A good-looking man, but that's another conversation. Edmonton has won their last 2 games. Hey, I admire God's art, Alex.
It's all right. I mean, he's a sharp-dressing dude and a decent-looking dude.
Yeah,
no better looking goalie than King Henrik, though, eh, Prez?
Well, I'm not loving King Henrik's hairline, but the dude is an incredible dresser. I mean, I will give you that. Edmonton's won their last 2 games in a row. Beat Anaheim 2-1, beat the Islanders 4-3. Before that, they lost 4 in a row. Nashville just beat LA 2-1 and at Dallas 5-3. Look, the over and under is 5.5 here. The money line is minus 305. Alex, I go to you, but I like over the total in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little tough because obviously you got an Edmonton team playing without Connor McDavid, who is pretty much the end-all, be-all with their scoring opportunities and chances lead with him. So it's going to be a little bit tough, like I said, and if Pekka Rinne is on one of his hot runs, it's going to be even harder for them. So I would look at the under here possibly. I just don't see where a lot of goals come from Edmonton. Nashville only really needs to get 3 goals. They can just kind of run away, tighten things down defensively. So I got to go with the under 5.5 here. I just don't see where Edmonton and Nashville. I don't see this turning into a track meet at all.
I also lean on Nashville at minus 1.5. Andrew, 30 seconds or less. Any quick thoughts on this game?
Once again, I'm going to look for a plus 1.5 number with Edmonton here. You can get it at minus 115 again with this price, and I think it's a good one. I think Edmonton keeps it close. I haven't seen Nashville really blowing out any teams these days, not too often anyway. They're getting the job done every now and then, but they're keeping things lower scoring, and once they get ahead, they just lock it down. Nothing more than I hate, Prez, than overachieving teams than underachieving, and I think with the talent that they have on their roster, they're not doing exactly what they should be doing. They're not putting the numbers up that they should, similar to Winnipeg right now. So I think Edmonton competes and gives it their whole effort. Plus 1.5 for me with the Oilers.
He's Andrew. I'm the Prez. Alex with us. Head over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo. Use the promo code NHL35. Andrew, we'll go to you first. Let's talk about Colorado. I mean, Colorado right now, 1 point behind Minnesota for that final wild card with a game in hand, a very, very important hockey game for them. They're playing Florida, who's basically out of it already, even though they're 2 games over 500 on the season, but 10 points out of playoff position with a whole lot of teams to jump ahead of. They're playing good hockey. They've won 4 of their last 5, including winning a 6-1 game against LA. But Colorado's on a nice 4-game win streak, including beating Nashville 5-0 and Chicago 5-3. And Chicago's one of the hottest teams in the league, plus Winnipeg 7-1 and Vegas 3-0. This Colorado team is coming together. They are minus 150 on the game. The over and under is 6.5, even money to the over. What do you like in this game? I lean on Colorado for. I like Colorado flat out.
Sometimes you look at games and you really do wonder, where the odds came from. I mean, why they're that big of favorites. And I think that you look at the hockey that Florida's been playing. I mean, they've been playing exceptional, and they've been competing with some great teams. They've been putting up some goals as well. I was on a podcast with Drew Martin and Alex a couple of weeks ago. I think I told you about this, Prez, where I said Colorado's a sell team for me post All-Star break, and it started to work really effectively for me. And they were losing a lot of games in a row, but they're getting their act together. Plain and simple, they're getting their act together. But to me personally, by no means should they be favored by this many goals. But I'll say kind of a funny note here. You look at Florida, everyone makes jokes about how they have nobody in the seats. I mean, you go there, you got the snowbirds, whatever they call it, the guys that from Canada go there in the winter. Those are the only ones filling the seats. Looks like an exhibition game there. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games on the road. So I guess they feel more comfortable playing in front of 8,000 fans versus 20,000. But this team has been scoring too many goals. They're looking too good for them to be that big of underdogs. I think it's a juicy price here. I'd be surprised, though, Prez, to see a low-scoring game in this one. I know we're getting a 6.5 total, but I'd be surprised to see a lower-scoring one. I know Reimer's been playing some decent hockey, but I think that with the way Colorado's playing, if they're going to have any chance, they have to score. They have to get a lot of score in bunches, and Florida's got some talent right now. So I'd go over the total in this one and lean to the dog.
Andrew, 30 seconds or less. Any thoughts on this Colorado-Florida game?
I'm looking at Florida here in this spot. I think this could be a bit of a letdown spot for Colorado. They've played well last 3 games against division teams. Like I said, they've won those games. They were some tough battles. They always play the Hawks tough. They always play Nashville pretty tough. And now just having a kind of a lowly Florida team, like I said, kind of out of the race. I could see this being a bit of a letdown spot. I think if Florida scores here early, and Roberto Luongo's had a great track record over the years against Colorado too. I think there's some value here with the dog as well. So I look at the Panthers.
Alex, let's go to you on this Anaheim Vancouver game. Jesus, I mean, the free fall for Anaheim is unprecedented. This team is now completely out of it. But look, 2 weeks ago, Vancouver held the last wildcard position, and they have just stunk it up as well. They've lost their last 3 games, 5 of their last 6, and 8 of their last 10 games. They're doing worse than Anaheim right now, who are 2-2 in their last 4. The problem here is who the hell is going to score in this hockey game? I like under the total of 5.5 goals.
Yeah, you're laying a bit of a price there with a minus 135, 140, but I need to see a 145 at one shot too. But yeah, the only way I look at this would be the under. These are just 2 teams that are playing horrific hockey. I mean, Anaheim, 5-22, their last 27. 2 of those were shutout wins against Minnesota. So clearly that's the only team that they kind of get up for it against now. Then Vancouver, like I said, this is a team I thought would be on the rise. I thought they would stick around in this wild card race, but I knew they were a team that they're still looking toward the future. They're not going to make any crazy moves today or over the past weekend. They're going to stick with what they got, and this is just kind of a learning experience, and maybe next year they can stick around in the race a little bit longer than the end of February or the beginning of March. But like I said, not a whole lot of scoring expected here. I can see this being a 2-1 hockey game. I like the under as well.
Andrew, quickly, what do you think about this game?
I couldn't agree more with you guys, realistically. I mean, I feel like it's sad to say that I was shocked to see Kessler scoring the other night. I was shocked to see Perry doing well. It's surprising to see some of these guys actually performing. And who's going to be the one putting the puck in the back of the net? I don't know in this game. And I've been trying to make an argument for these 5.5 totals, Prez, and I realized for some of the games I was wrong. 6 goals is still a lot of goals for a team like Anaheim. So I agree. Under the total in this one, an old phrase I like to use. I mean, You go under 6, under 5.5 in this one, you're literally laughing. You're winning until some goals start exploding, and I don't see where those goals come from.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, people love betting overs, but the bottom line is an under is always winning until it loses, and an over never wins until it wins. Yeah. That's some deep shit from the Prez!
It sounds so basic and cliche, but it's true.
It really is, huh?
Guys, both of you tomorrow, nice and early. I think we got to go with 11:30 Eastern. So, folks, the puck time should be up by around noon tomorrow. Thank you all for being such wonderful fans, viewers, listeners, customers of ours. We really appreciate it, and we will not take a break again. That you have my word on. I am going on a ski trip second week of March, but Alex will be ready and rocking to host these shows. Wednesday, we'll have Alex and Koken. Thursday, Alex and Carmen. Then Andrew will be back with us on Friday. Make sure to go over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo. Use the promo code NHL35. Boys, it's great to see you. It's great to be back. I got a 3-pack up for tonight, and I'm pumped. Plus, I'm going to a poker tournament. Be well, boys, and we'll see you both tomorrow.
All right.
See you guys.
Easy.